channel o kò lè jọjà yìí tàyẹ sọ fún wọn. OSBC lókè balẹ̀ yìí channel 32 UHF náà lẹ̀ sọ. channel 32 UHF ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá síbẹ̀ wọn. OSBC channel 32 kí ló ń ṣe níbẹ̀ gan òjijì tún lè ṣàdùrẹ́ ṣe ọmọ. wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ àsìkò ní àjọyọ̀ àjò kò kọ́ ni lọ́gbọ́n lọ́lọ́kan òjò kan àwọn orin àsìkò tó tún bàgbà mú gidi ẹ ṣe publicity fún business tí a jáwó.
Governor Adeleke warns against violence ahead of local government polls. Tax reform bill passed second reading at the House of Representatives. NLC orders boycott of MTN other service providers over tariff hikes. And from the foreign scene, Nigerian teachers on strike over poor wage and deteriorating working conditions. Good evening and welcome to Major Reports. I am Kayode Adibayo. Governor Ademola Adeleke has assured all stakeholders of non-interference in the forthcoming local government elections slated for next week, Saturday. A statement by the governor's spokesperson, Malam Olawale Rashid, said Governor Adeleke hailed the peaceful campaigns by various political parties ahead of the elections, urging candidates across the parties to sell their agenda to the voting public instead of resorting to violence or arm twisting. The statement noted that government is committed to free and fair elections following the preparatory activities of the State Electoral Commission and assured the public of the independence of the Commission to conduct credible elections. Governor Adeleke urged the people of the state to get prepared for next week's local government election, noting that he had directed the security agencies to deal decisively with any promoter of violence within the context of rule of law. A political group, the Dapo Okunola movement, has canvassed support for Governor Ademola Adeleke in his drive to enthrone good governance in Osun State. Leader of the group, Prince Dapo Okunola, made this known when he paid an appreciation visit to members of the People's Democratic Party in the Ifelodun local government area of the state. OSBC reporter Oluchi Amuda has the details.
A political group aimed at canvassing support for the Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, and campaigning for the election of all the chairmanship candidates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the forthcoming local government election in the state, the Dapo Okunola movement has continued its advocacy visit in a Ifelodun Boripe Odoti federal constituency. The train of the appreciation visit by members of the group moved to Ikerun, headquarters of Ifelodun local government area, where they met with the leaders and members of the People's Democratic Party in the area. While explaining the motive behind the visit, the leader of the group, Prince Dapo Okunola, stated that he was motivated by the selfless and tireless service of Governor Ademola Adeleke, which are evidence in the infrastructural development being witnessed in all the nook and cranny of Osun State, and the need to continue to support and cooperate with the government to achieve its dream of providing good governance in the state beyond 2026. Prince Okunola noted that the achievements of Governor Adeleke has remained unprecedented, adding that his movement would continue to canvass support for the government. This is just as he implored the people to vote en masse for all the chairmanship candidates of the People's Democratic Party in the forthcoming local government election, so that the people at the grassroots will enjoy the dividends of democracy.
my fellow PDP members to put our quota to what he's doing. And I also brought some materials to support these forthcoming elections to make sure that everything went smoothly. And in a nutshell, I also use this medium to encourage them to troop out to vote in mass to make sure that the PDP triumph in this forthcoming election.
In his address of welcome, the chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ifelodun local government, Honorable Samuel Adeboye, commended Prince Dapo Okunla for his commitment to the party and his contributions toward ensuring that the party emerges victorious in all future elections. He noted that the state government under Governor Ademola Adeleke has turned around the fortunes of Osun State for the better through the developmental milestones being witnessed in all sectors such as health, education, economy, agriculture, solid mineral development, environment, job creation, and commerce and industry, among others.
I commend him particularly and specifically in his speech. His ambition is not inordinate. His ambition is secondary. He put the ambition of the second term of our dear Governor Adeleke as his priority. And I want to tell you, whoever does that, I think should be commended. And I know, as God will have it, my prayer for him is for God to support him in his endeavor.
The event climaxed with donation of financial support to members of the party in Ifelodun local government area of Osun State by the Dapo Okunla movement. Oluchi.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has said that Nigeria is ready to lead artificial intelligence innovations in Africa and will partner with Google to achieve the mission. Tinubu stated this on his verified X handle when he revealed details of his recent meeting with the Chief Executive Officer of Google and Alphabet, Sundar Pichai, in France. He said he enjoyed the engagement and meeting with the Google CEO, which centered on advancing Nigeria's role in artificial intelligence and digital innovation. He noted that Nigeria already had some bright prospects in the artificial intelligence space, including Awari Technologies. According to him, the federal government is currently collaborating with Awari Technologies to build critical AI software infrastructure that will meet the needs of Nigerian markets. He noted that the partnership conversation with Google aligns with the renewed hope agenda of his government, which he said emphasized economic diversification through industrialization, digitization, and innovation. He added that the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy will provide strategic oversight, while NITDA will spearhead the implementation. The 4 tax reform bills transmitted to the National Assembly in 2024 by President Bola Tinubu have scaled second reading at the House of Representatives. The bills scaled second reading on the floor of the Green Chamber 6 months after the President transmitted them to the National Assembly for consideration following the recommendations of the Taiwo Oyedele-led Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms. The bills include the Nigerian Tax Bill 2024, the Tax Administration Bill, the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. Having scaled the second reading, the bill, enveloped in widespread controversy and sparked scathing criticisms and stiff opposition from many, will now be subjected to a public hearing. Lawmakers who spoke during the plenary supported the bill, but a lawmaker, Sada Soli, feared that some sections of the new bills might contradict the 1999 Constitution, saying the issue of derivation must be clearly defined to avoid any ambiguity. He was, however, hopeful that the committee saddled with the responsibility to scrutinize the bills will address the issues that might arise before the bills are passed. The Nigerian Labour Congress has condemned the implementation of a 50% tariff hike by telecommunication companies, demanding an immediate reversal of the previous tariff. The NLC and the federal government had earlier constituted a 10-man committee to deliberate on the tariff hike within 2 weeks and report back before any final decision was made on the new telecom tariff structure. Despite the agreement, telecom firms have proceeded with the increase, prompting the NLC to issue a March 1 deadline for a total shutdown of their operations if the tariffs are not reversed. In a communique signed by the NLC President Joe Ajaero and the General Secretary Emma Ubuaja, following a meeting of the NLC Central Working Committee in Lokoja, the union accused telecom firms of betraying trust and disregarding due process by implementing the tariff hike before the 10-man committee completed its review. The Congress also criticized the government for failing to protect citizens from corporate exploitation. The NLC has therefore directed Nigerian workers and other willing citizens to boycott the services of MTN, Airtel, and Glo daily between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. from tomorrow until the end of February as a first step in resisting the tariff hike. The NLC directed all its state councils to commence immediate sensitization and mobilization of their members and the general public within their jurisdictions. It also requested its affiliate unions to mobilize their members across the country to observe electronic silence during the designated hours. The House of Representatives has asked the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, and the Nigerian Communication Commission to suspend the impending hike in telecommunications tariffs until their service improves. This came as subscribers have started switching to alternative network providers following a sharp increase in MTN Nigeria's data and SMS tariffs. The position of the House followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved by Honorable Obuku Ofoji at the plenary. Moving the motion, Ofoji noted that speaking after a stakeholders meeting with mobile network operators in Abuja, the minister disclosed that telecommunications tariffs will soon increase. He quoted the minister to have said consultations were ongoing as there had been agitations from some of those companies to increase tariffs to as high as 100%, adding that it will not be a 100% increase and that the NCC will approve the new tariffs and announce them in due course. The lawmaker said the argument of the telecommunications companies for a hike in tariffs include the cost of investment, better networks, increasing demand for digital services across sectors such as education, banking, and healthcare, among others. He expressed concern that the far-reaching effect of these price hikes would deepen financial struggles for the average Nigerian, threatening the country's vision of leveraging technology to drive economic revival, exacerbate poverty, and widen existing inequalities, hitting lower-income families the hardest. In another development, the House of Representatives Committee on Public Petitions has invited the Comptroller General of Nigerian Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, to appear before it over the failure of some senior officers to retire after reaching their due retirement dates. This followed the consideration of a petition by the Osbc Help Foundation, alleging that some assistant comptrollers and controllers were due for retirement but had refused to leave the service. A statement issued by the head of Media House Committee on Public Petitions, Chuks Oko, named the concerned officers including controllers and assistant controllers. Issuing the summons, the committee noted that the Comptroller General has a duty as a public officer to clarify the situation to Nigerians. Meanwhile, the committee has threatened to order the arrest of the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the National Identity Management Commission, Abisoye Koka-Odushote, if she fails to appear in person to respond to allegations of refusing to pay for a state-of-the-art software development project installed and deployed for the commission by a private firm. The private firm had, in a petition to the committee, alleged a breach of the license agreement by NIMC. Reacting to submissions from the counsels of both the petitioners and respondents, Etiaba criticized the continued absence of the NIMC Director General despite these several invitations. Security experts, civil society organizations, and victims of terrorism have expressed disappointment over the reintegration of repentant Boko Haram terrorists into the society at the expense of the victims. They accused the government of pampering the ex-terrorists while their victims languished in internally displaced persons camps across the country. A security consultant, Abdullahi Mohammed Jabi, faulted the reintegration of 5,000 repentant terrorists to the communities they once rained terror on. He said the gesture undermined the sacrifices of patriotic Nigerians who have paid the supreme price in defense of the nation. Recall that 22 soldiers, including a commanding officer, were recently killed in Borno during an offensive at a renowned terrorist enclave known as the Timbuktu Triangle after the terrorists deployed suicide bombers in explosive vehicles to ward off the troops. However, experts describe the reintegration as an error in policy implementation following the revelation at the recent meeting of the Lake Chad Governors Forum in Borno that over 5,000 repentant terrorists have been reunited with their families. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has reaffirmed the commitment of his administration towards preserving the traditional institution and promote the cultural heritage of the people. Governor Adeleke stated this through the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Dosu Babatunde, at the installation ceremony and presentation of staff of office to the Alua of Erioke Kingdom, Oba Akintola Ayodeji Akintunlureshe Ilufemiloye the First. Osbc reporter Oluchi Amuda was there and has the report.
It was a historic moment for the people of Erioke Kingdom as they joyfully played host to arrays of dignitaries from all walks of life who converged on a Repodo High School playing ground to witness the installation ceremony and presentation of staff of office to the 21st Alua of Erioke Kingdom, Oba Akintola Ayodeji Akintunlureshe Ilufemiloye the First, as he ascended the throne of his forefathers in his keynote address. Shortly before the presentation of the staff of office and instrument of appointment to the monarch, the Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, who was represented by the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Dosu Babatunde, congratulated the Alua of Erioke Kingdom and charged him to continue to support and cooperate with the government by maintaining peace in his domain and contribute positively to nation building.
Now that you're on the throne of your forefathers, the period of conquest is over and the period of administering the community has begun. You have to see yourself as the father of all citizens of Erioke at home and in the diaspora. You have to do all you can do to unite everyone behind you and to really seek the growth and development of Erioke, Loriade local government area of Osun State. To the people of Erioke, government expects you to live in peace and harmony with your neighbors. Government expects you to pay your taxes and levies as and when due. Government expects you to be good citizens of your community and local councils. To all our royal fathers gathered here, I urge you all to continue to support our administration, and I promise to continue to pay maximum attention to the traditional institutions in the state.
In his acceptance speech, Oba Ayodeji expressed appreciation to Governor Ademola Adeleke and to all the dignitaries who honored him with their presence. He promised to be a servant leader and work tirelessly to improve the quality of life of his people by building on the legacies of his predecessors. Earlier in their separate remarks, the chairman of Erioke Development Association, Alhaji Bisiriu Idowu, and the chairman Coronation Planning Committee, Prince Albert Oshumakinde, stated that they are filled with immense pride and admiration to witness such a momentous occasion that marks a new era of prosperity, peace and progress for the kingdom. There were goodwill messages from the Deputy Governor of Benue State, Mr. Sam Ode, the representatives of the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashiru Adeniyi, a retired Deputy Comptroller General of Customs, and Galadima Gari Nupe, Alhaji Galadima Saidu, among others. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News.
You are welcome to our sports segment. African Footballer of the Year winner Emmanuel Amuneke and other grassroots coaches have attributed the decline in teenage football stars from Nigeria to poor youth development and lack of opportunities. Amuneke noted that while countries like Spain continue to have a teenage sensations like Lamine Yamal, who helped La Roja win Euro 2024, Nigeria has struggled to nurture young talents to prominence in recent years. He said this stance is in stark contrast to previous eras that saw teenage stars like legendary Pele, Lionel Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo all made their marks as teenagers. The former Super Eagles player indicated that Samuel Chukwueze is the only player in the current Super Eagles squad born in Nigeria to make his debut as a teenager, doing so at 19 in a friendly against Uganda. Since then, there have been no signs that other teams in the country are ready. The 1994 AFCON winner credits his own early development to the late Yemi Tela, who gave him opportunity as a youth player. He however noted that there is talent in the country, but the issue is the procedure of getting them to the next level and into good academies. And coming from the foreign scene, teachers across Algeria have embarked on strike today to protest low salaries and deteriorating working conditions. This follows demonstrations staged by students last month in an unusual outpouring of protest. Students stood outside shuttered classrooms and roamed aimlessly when teachers started a two-day strike. Teachers and students are taking action at a time when public criticism of the government is becoming rarer. Teachers say the strike is significant amid a gradual shrinking of rights, including for women, the press, and opposition parties. Gas-rich Algeria has long taken pride in its free education system and the opportunities it affords students and teachers. Despite investing more in education than its neighbors, the country only spends more on its military, while the school system has become a target of popular anger towards larger government problems, including rising costs, corruption, and a lack of jobs for skilled and educated workers like teachers. Teachers say they are unpaid, and educated young people are increasingly trying to emigrate out of the country in search of opportunities, with European visa applications steadily rising. And that ends the major report on OSBC TV tonight. The bulletin was edited by Michael Adeniyi. I am Kayode Adebayo. Thanks for watching and good night.